The time, currently 1737, just about dusk, and I have one thing on my agenda. Actually, I have a couple, but for statement's sake, let's just say I have one thing, and that is to go nuts. Nuts on triceps, nuts on biceps, a little bit nuts on shoulders, and I'm not even lying this time. I am actually going to do some side delt stuff, plus nuts on cardio afterward. The cardio is getting serious. If you want to stay reasonably updated on my cardio schedule, every time I finish some of it, I ended up just spamming it on my Instagram story. So I think right now it's like bike, treadmill, 12 hours later, bike, treadmill, 12 hours later, bike, treadmill, bike, just camping out. It's and I hate to say it, but I think at this point I've done more cardio in the last few weeks than probably a certain percentage of lifters have done in the last 3 years, which is not a situation that I want to be true. Frankly, I think everybody should be clocking in way more hours of cardio than they are now, but what are you gonna do? Whoa, it's kind of crazy, huh? But either way, you do have to somehow fit it into your schedule. It's and getting into the 2 hour range of cardio per day, that's definitely its own. That's not just general fitness. But what I would recommend is 30 minutes a couple times a week. Just get into it. And if you can find like a Facebook Marketplace treadmill or a seated bike or something, and then keep that like in the garage, in the basement, that is really the best bet. Because then you don't have to drive to the gym and make a whole trip out of it. So if you don't want to do that, then cardio post-workout, 30 minutes. Usually I wouldn't recommend cardio post-workout, especially not on a leg day. Like if I just thrash my legs, I think sitting and pedaling for 30 minutes and really burning them out isn't going to do me much good. I'd probably want to at least wait a few hours before doing that. But your best bet, cardio on its own separate occasion, hours before the lift. Second best bet, post-workout's cool too. It doesn't, some guys talk about the cardio timing as if doing post-workout cardio will immediately kill your gains and your whole workout was worthless. No, it's not that serious. But as long as you're getting it in somehow, I think you're giving yourself a bit of a competitive edge compared to anybody who doesn't. But in terms of tonight's lift, I'm not exactly sure how it's going to be oriented. I know there's going to be some machine dips involved. There will definitely be some rope extension and some overhead extension involved. And then biceps will just be whatever curls kind of, tickle my fancy for the most part. Because my biceps do not feel particularly picky. Like with chest, I don't know. I guess maybe am I really that picky with machines in general? Well, with biceps, if you put me on any curl machine, like if you said, Sam, or you got to lift at a hotel gym for arms tonight, there's no dumbbells, there's only this machine preacher, or there's only this like seated curl, or hell, there's only dumbbells. All you get to do is dumbbell curls. That is pretty much totally cool with me, because all your bicep is doing is going from here to here. So as long as you really push it, I think you're cool, right? There's no need to really freak out about making sure you do 10 different movements, some focusing on the stretch, some focusing on the squeeze. Like, obviously I think there's value to that, but too much of one thing is usually kind of going to stray you from the path of just basic gains. Like, don't forget, the hierarchy of importance of your training, I would say intensity and consistency are like S tier. Versatility, or what's the word? Variability, like making sure you do different sets, that's more like A tier. Like, it's up there. I would never recommend someone only do like dumbbell curls for the rest of their life. But if all that guy did was dumbbell curls and he went crazy every set, he's still going to make bicep gains, So what I'm more concerned with in terms of like my exercise selection is, okay, how can I hit whatever muscle group I'm hitting? And by how can I hit it, I mean how many different ways and how many different movement styles are there for this particular muscle group. Because with something like chest, there's a few different movements. We know this. Pressing and fly-based work. Now, there's a little bit of a combination where you have like converging pressing, where it's kind of a half fly, half press. But for the most part, you press stuff and you do some stretch focus flies. With triceps, you got dips, machine or body weight. Personally, I'm a little bit too tight, I think, for body weight. The machines feel much better. I don't get any chest involvement or anything. There's regular push downs, and then there's overhead extensions of all sorts of varieties, like skull crushers, overhead cable. There are some really fancy overhead tricep machines, though they're a bit rarer to come by, unfortunately. Not as popular as like leg extensions and leg curls or whatever. But those are the big three for triceps. And I know that if I hit my triceps and check off all three boxes, push down, dip, overhead extension, because I basically get, my tricep worked in all the major ways that I can. And then at the end of it, I can tell I'm fully pumped, I had a good workout, then I'm golden, right? The important part isn't making sure that every specific workout hits every specific different kind of everything. It's like, hit it over the course of time. I don't want to do one tricep workout forever. I want to keep changing it up day by day, even just based on how I feel on a day-by-day basis. But I'm much more concerned with making sure my effort is there. A well-written workout, executed poorly, will never even come close to comparing to a simple workout executed with, well, let's just say, Titus level engagement or intensity. Is it Titus? Tacticus? I don't know. I keep seeing all the Warhammer edits. They're getting me kind of excited. But I don't really play games like that. It's almost like I kind of just want to watch, like I want to see a Warhammer movie, like a really well done, like CGI everything. I don't really play story games like that. It just doesn't get me going. But either way, within, including the drive, about an hour and 20 minutes, I can pretty much guarantee I'm going to have a freaky arm pump, and then I'll be ready to slam a ton of water at either the water fountain or just get a jug at the vending machine. I forgot to bring one. And then get ready for... Oh, crap. I was about to say get ready for an episode of Squid Game to watch during my cardio, but I accidentally stayed up kind of late last night and I watched an extra 2 episodes. I should have just watched like TikTok Reels or something, because now I don't have a show. I guess I'll watch some Suits. But either way, that's a me problem. How about we stop talking and go get this lift started? All right, so I've got a plan, and what that plan is as many back and forths as necessary to reach a state of being fully pumped, of a tricep movement supersetted with biceps. So I've got a history of starting with squeezing stuff, be it single arm pushdowns, rope extensions with a good hold at the bottom. And then with curls, well, I'll start with some regular dumbbell curls too. But I feel like I've kind of been starting with lighter squeezing sets the last few arm days for curls also. So let's flip it around. Just start with some nasty, reasonably weighted sets. Kind of quicker pace, no need for like a full 1 second hold at the bottom and a super slow eccentric. I'll save those sets for a little bit later. But let's get this started here. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh. Let's do one more just like that and decide it's either do 3 or move on to a new pair of movements. Good start though. Okay. All right, come on. Okay, oh my gosh. All right, let's pick a new pair. Whew. Let's do some overhead rope extension. Jump over to the other side and do some heavy easy bar curls. Cable, I mean. Okay. Let's go a little lighter for the next one. So, oh, yeah, okay. Oh, crap. I overestimated my strength on both of those. And so, apart from going a little lighter, this next set, let's also change it up. Rope curls, easy bar extensions. I think that'll be a good little adjustment. And also, the rope makes my elbows a little more tender than the easy bar does. Not sure why. Oh my god, okay. Oh my god. Oh, okay. Let's pick a new set of movements. I think preacher curls will be involved. So I've got a 25 and a 10 on this preacher, which after a feeler rep feels about right. So triceps is going to be 2 long D handles in an underhand slow and squeezing style. I'll actually go even a little bit lighter. Very controlled. One more. Oh, yeah. Okay. I think I'm about ready for an alternating style set. So I'll pick a tricep movement and a bicep movement that are close together. 10 reps of tris, 10 of bis, 10 of tris, 10 of bi, back and forth, as many as I can do. And then we can post down. Oh, my goodness. I'll do one set of lateral raises in between, just for a little shoulder activation. All right. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. All right. So 10 reps of rope extension, followed by 10 reps of bar curls seated. And then just repeat until no more reps are feasible. Okay. All right. Arms are done. That's what, yeah. Oh. There we go. All right. So, arms are freaking complete. They feel, well, they feel freaking nuts. Now, the discrepancy between the subjective value of the pump right now and the subjective value of like how energized I feel, very much in this direction, right? Like I'm definitely getting a bit of a relief wave that the lift is over. Not in the sense that I'm like, oh, I'm so done with working out, but I'm definitely feeling some of the additional fatigue of dieting. And I'm used to being in more of a, bulked 800 grams of carbs intake per day. So this is definitely a little bit different than my normal sort of sensation. But I still feel pretty freaking freaky. Yeah, even just, holy shit. Even just after one set of lateral raises, and I've already got a very bulbous shoulder pump. There's a reason I'm not doing a lot of shoulders right now. Okay. And same thing for the back. Actually, let's lose the tank. What the hell am I doing? Oh, goodness. Oh. Oh. Is it just me? But I feel like my lat spread is better without a back pump because I can really open up more. Because when I'm pumped up, it's like, yeah, my lats are extra like full and inflated, but I don't get that same like opening up because they're so tense. But holy crap, I gotta do I gotta do one more of those little Christmas tree flexes. Oh. Oh my gosh. Oh, all right. Let's get the most muscular and then get ready for some more cardio. Oh, man. I think this alternating style of tries and buy work for these upcoming arm days is going to have to be the way to go about it for two reasons. One, it's a little bit of a quicker lift. I can be a bit denser with my workload and it doesn't feel so much like a marathon, which I'm doing enough freaking cardio as it is. I don't need these workouts to really extend beyond, the 45-minute range. And also, my arms are just way more pumped for the pose down when I do tries back and forth with buys. Because right now, this pump is already fleeting. Like my arms are already probably beginning to shrink down just a touch and lose some of the blood that I just worked so hard to put into them. Because I'm running low. Like for me, 150 grams of carbs and below per day, that's, I'm not complaining, but that definitely feels as though it's on the low end. But that's kind of the whole point of this portion of my training. So it's just the nature of it. But awesome arm day with a tiny little hint of shoulders. I got an hour of cardio, but for you, you get to jump straight into the car. I'm jealous. There's this, there's the 13. There is a certain catharsis to sitting in a warm car, scrolling Instagram after a good workout with some cardio at the kick of it. Usually I would say after a leg day, because that's where I'm really kind of feeling the tiredness of a lift. But now I get that every lift. Because it's finished with some cardio. So plan now is go home, get ready for a nice big bowl of ground turkey with sugar-free ketchup, as well as all my multivitamins and niacinamide and NAC and everything else, and then go to sleep early. It's 8:48, so I've been kind of sitting on my phone for a little while, and I bet eventually I'm just gonna fall asleep in the car after a lift. I've never done it before, but depending on the intensity of this deficit, I would not be surprised if after a tricky back day or some kind of heavy or whatever, where I'm really feeling the low carb effect plus the fatigue from the extra cardio, that I get nice and bundled up, heat to the max, seat heater going crazy, plus a little bit of a phone stimulus. I can just pass out right there. Though, I guess we'll just have to see. Until then, I'm kind of getting excited to, I'm getting excited to have a hot shower. Because I just generally feel colder now. Like, when I'm full of food, eating a crazy amount, it's to the point where I'm just kind of, not constantly sweating, but, like, peak bulk, just walking around and, like, even just standing up for a while, I'll get some drips down my back. Not so much now, not so much, because in the deficit, I mean, I'm getting chipper, man. Like, especially in the morning, getting up to do cardio, like, I'm wearing 2 pairs of sweatpants plus a sweater, just because the car is freaking freezing. And it takes, it doesn't take a while to warm up, because it doesn't get warm, because all I do is ride it over to the apartment gym. But yeah, so other than that, I'm pretty much, well, it'll still be a little while, but my current challenge is breaking into the 220s in terms of my morning empty stomach fasted weight. Getting past the 230 mark is proving to be trickier than expected, but definitely not impossible. So as soon as I break into the 229.9s, you will know it. You will freaking hear that. And that's pretty much close to my end goal leanness. Like, for my height, I've got to be able to check in at 217 pounds. So I'm banking on being 227, just walking around lean, empty stomach, and then having a 10-pound like water depletion over the 2 or 3 days pre-show. Which 10 pounds of water for my size, not that crazy. I mean, if I ever have a day where I don't drink enough water, or like anytime we travel anywhere and we're walking around airports and stuff, like I just lose 5 pounds like that, just from like extra dehydration and sort of stuff like that. So I don't think that's too unfeasible. So now I kind of feel like I'm just really waiting for time to pass, because if I'm not like on my desk tinkering with something, or like messing with the camera stuff or the videos, or going down like a YouTube rabbit hole, like if I'm just sitting bored or whatever, the urge to grub, it's getting strong. Like this is definitely not a passive state of dieting that, man, it's getting, especially now. I mean, if I actually want to hit the goals that I want to reach, like there's no room for fumbleage. So really what I'm trying to do is just make sure that I'm occupied with something at almost, at almost all times, just so that I I always got my mind on something. Because idle hands are the stomach's plaything. Because if you're not really doing anything and you're just kind of walking around, oh, I wonder what's in the pantry. Ooh, I wouldn't mind a couple handfuls of Cheez-Its. I wouldn't mind a few goldfish. Peanut butter crackers, don't mind if I do. And then before you know it, you just had an extra 1,000 calories of snacks, which you probably did not even really want to eat. But just because you weren't thinking about it and you're kind of walking around mindlessly, it's like you caught yourself in the act. And that's where it's like as much benefit as there is to really just making sure you're killing it on the regular. I'd say one of the biggest sort of tricks to getting ahead in anything is not putting yourself in a situation where you're behind, right? So who's going to do better? The guy who is like seriously locked in 50% of the time, crazy hardcore dieting, and then the other 40% he has like cheat days and he like skips his cardio? Or the guy who's like pretty much evenly, consistently locked in, not like an insane, crazy deficit, like he's not going crazy, but he's consistent. Right? That consistency is where these results are going to come from. So don't. It's not necessarily how hard of a cardio session can you do today. It's what kind of cardio session can you do consistently over the course of the next 3 months, or over the course of the next forever, ideally, because the cardio shouldn't just be a one-time phase. Hypothetically, hopefully that should become kind of just a new lifestyle, right? But who knows? That seems like a distant future when the majority of people get their 30 minutes of cardiovascular activity per day. But a lifter can dream. So I think that's pretty much all there is to say. Freaky arm day. Only more veins and cuts to come. So all I got to do is make sure I'm nice and well rested for tomorrow's leg day, which is probably the lift that I care about being the most well rested for out of all of them. Like, of course, every lift I want to be well rested, but if I'm really kind of feeling tired and extra lethargic on a leg day, that's the trickiest. That is the most gruesome. But I think I'm just about ready for bed. So a little bit of a quicker post-lift update. I will have more lifting-based chat to get in tomorrow for legs. So I think I'll just see you then.